All right, guys. Uh, Here is the lineup for this weekend. Okay. Obviously, you can tell this is a little bit different than what we usually do. Okay. After looking at Sand and Surf for a little bit, obviously a very good team. Um, they play in a 4-4-2 diamond, and that means we're gonna go in our 3-4-3. Couple of things when it comes to this. Obviously, we played this versus Rangers, and obviously some of the girls had concerns. And obviously, I went back to watch the game a little bit, and one thing I would like to see from all of you guys, including myself, and obviously I wasn't there, and this is the part that's unfortunate, is that Rangers did not play in a 4-4-2 diamond when we played this. And so we would have just moved into our 4-3-3. So when we play a 4-4-2 diamond, guys, we want to be in our 3-4-3. When we play a 4-3-3, we want to be back in our 4-3-3. So depending on what Sand and Surf does on Sunday, we will change. But at least from their last current games, it's been a 4-4-2 diamond. So we will start in a 3-4-3. Okay. Now, very simple. This is the starting lineup. Okay. This is how we'll start. Obviously, as every game we do, okay, halfway through the half, I'll make subs, and then obviously second half I'll make subs halfway through. Okay. Talking about our build a little bit. Okay. Obviously, it's a little bit different than what we do usually. Okay. This is us in red. Okay. Obviously, this is a new formation in terms of there's four. Okay. In theory, there's going to be four. Obviously, if they are a 4-3-3, will change. But let's just say they're in the 4-4-2 for now. Okay. At first, we want the wingers to be really narrow. The reason why we want that is because we want the outside backs to be pinned for the other team. Okay, that makes it very difficult for them to get out into these wide areas. And that's kind of what we want here. We want it to be a little bit narrow to start. Abby, as you saw, you were the starting center back. Okay, so we want you to basically start here, right next to Gigi. Gigi, you're literally just going to touch the ball and let Abby take it. Okay, Abby will now control our possession. Now, depending on how it goes, okay, they might shift to one side, okay, like this. Okay, if they do that, that's very simple. Obviously, we find the open player. If they don't do that, okay, we want you to move towards a player. Say they're slightly more shifted this way for some reason, just because they maybe didn't look. Abby, we want you to drive towards the player that's going to be a little bit slightly more open. So once this person starts engaging, that's when we play into the other center back. And so now they're free to move around into here. Once that happens, okay, we want not necessarily the winger to get wide, because that's more predictable. Okay. We want the winger to get wide. Or excuse me, the outside midfielder to get wide. Okay. Couple things will either happen. Either this person stays and this person is wide open to get the ball. Awesome. Great. And now we can go forwards. If not, this person is going to track. Okay. Gives a lane for the winger to come and receive. Okay. And potentially move. Now, if the person comes tightly, obviously we'll still need people to come and help underneath, but it just gives us an option to move. And depending on what happens with our outside center back, so Sienna and Kira, okay, you can keep driving as well. If they don't approach you, you can keep driving. So don't be afraid to keep going at them. But in terms of the build, we always want a numbers advantage, and that's why we're going with the 3-4-3. So you guys should be fine. You guys are good soccer players. You should be able to figure this out. Obviously, if they change, we'll change. So we'll figure that out as we go. Okay. But those are the kind of the things I wanted to talk about. Second part is the press. Okay. Once again, we're in red. So 3-4-3. Okay. As you can tell, when I've set this up, clearly two strikers, Okay. The wide center back, pick up the nines. Abby, we want you as the free person, kind of just defending. Okay. That's your, we want you as free as possible. Okay. So don't get yourself stuck. Don't get yourself stuck with other people. Okay. So now you're free. Great. This is exactly what we want. Okay. For the most part, I did not see them play too much. Okay. They went long most of the time. So we want to be narrow, narrow. Great. Okay. They maybe go narrow too, just because they're going long and they might get up. Okay. If they go long, okay. Biggest thing I want to see from us, where it's going to land. Okay. Maybe it's going to land here, one behind. And then the 10, let's just say this is the wide midfielder. The 10 is now doubling. Okay. We're doubling on this person. Okay. We want to double where we can. And maybe even the winger can double here. Okay. That's a good opportunity for us to double. Okay. Maybe it's here. Great. One of the outside midfielders can double. Okay. The biggest thing is we want them to play backwards. Okay. We don't want them going forwards once they've gotten the long ball going. Okay. So we start behind and we force them back. Okay. It's not about always winning the ball. It's about being in the position where, okay, we can halt them as a team. They're pretty athletic guys, so we're going to have to be careful. And then once again, guys, you're tracking your you're tracking your center backs, or your nines center backs. And then Abby, we want you free. We want you to be the cleanup person, meaning if anything comes in behind, you clean up. Okay. Other than that, that's pretty simple. If they do try to play, let's just say they try to play, they get big. Okay, they still have their diamond. Great. We still stay narrow to start, guys. This is how we start. Okay, we don't want to be too wide. If, say, Ava and Delilah start like this, if the center back gets the ball, there's a big channel for one of the midfielders to get the ball. So, end of the day, we want to protect the middle first. So we start like this. Okay, we protect the middle. If they go wide, great. We step. They're protecting the middle. Weak side winger, you need to get yourself to the other center back. Not necessarily right on top of them, but in line with kind of the first midfielder and the center back. Reason why for this, okay, now if they try to switch the ball, you can come press the center back and maybe go get a goal. Okay, or even if, say, you're right here and they play, maybe they try to play here and we win it because we were tucked in, you're right in position to come receive this ball. Or maybe we did go out there, so maybe we won it out here. Okay, and now we're going towards the goal. There's already two people in the box. Okay, we want people around the goal when we've won the ball. So that's why we want you a little more narrow. And also it's just to press this center back right here. Okay. Other than that, guys, okay, for the most part, it's all going to be stuff that I'm going to help you guys with during the game. Okay, if you have any questions or your parents have questions, feel free to send stuff out to me. I will try to get back to you guys as soon as possible. Okay, obviously, this is not necessarily a new formation because we've done this before, but obviously, if you have questions, I want you to ask me so we can figure it out. Okay, first thing I want to show you is more about them. I just want to show you one time their build. I don't want to make it too complicated, so I'm not going to show you a bunch of builds. I'm just going to show you one. Okay. This is Sand and Surf building on Rebels. So Rebels decided to do exactly what we're doing. We're going to do a 3-4-3. They decided to play a 3-4-3 against them. Okay. It's just to give you an idea of their shape because I thought Rebels did a good job in terms of the shape. I don't agree with their build. Okay. We're going to build differently than them, so I'm not going to show you any of that. But I just want to show you how they defended this. So obviously goal kick, like I said, they did not try to play through this. So their center back decides to go long. Okay, great. They won the first ball. Awesome. But as you can tell, their 9 is guarding the center back here. Okay. Obviously their winger's out here still, so maybe they could have been here once it gets played, but that was pretty early into the play, so they're still out there. Fine. Picked up their winger, picked up the midfielder. Okay. So all four midfielders need to be picked up. So they have four, we have four. Great. Easy. Okay. We have to pick up these midfielders. Okay. They mess up the pass, whatever. Okay. It plays on a little bit. Obviously, you're going to play a little bit of long ball, so it gets a little bit confusing. This is the picture I want you guys to see. So Kira and Sienna and Abby, this is a good picture for you guys to see, especially at the beginning of the game. And any of the center backs are going to come in. So this could be Kata, this could be any of the defenders. Okay. outside center back, Abby controlling the middle. This is kind of what we want to see. Okay. Limit as much space as they can. We don't want Abby to be too far back. Okay. But we do want her a little bit behind. So if, say, this ball ends up here, Abby can come sweep up and defend. And as you can tell, this kind of ends up like that, where it ends up a little bit of a weird ball. And obviously they got a foul, but in one of those ones, maybe it ends up back there. So that's all I wanted to show you about the other team. Okay. Just wanted to show you how we set up. Okay. We have to stay man to man for the most part. And you see here with Rebels, bam, 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 bam. There's their four midfielders on their four midfielders as well. Okay. We want to stay disciplined in that way. Okay. Now, other than that, I'm done kind of talking about them. I kind of want to talk about us. Okay. Obviously, this is a good team. By the end of the day, it's about getting better as a team for us. So I'm more focused on more focused on working on us. Okay. So here we go, 427. Okay. Now we're just talking about us for the most part. We're going to look at the West Coast game. Okay. Just things that we can maybe do better. Okay. If you're in the film, don't worry. Okay. One thing when we do film, sometimes people get worried because I pick out a certain point from somebody. Okay. This is not meant to pick out anybody, obviously. This is more about us as a team. And I can promise you, if I'm showing this on this film, there's more than one person doing it. So if I say this on the film, okay, obviously, because I'm just looking at this one half of soccer. Okay. So don't make this something where, okay, it's all about me. Okay. It's about what we're doing as a team. Okay. So if you make a mistake in here, no worries. Believe me, it's about learning for all of us. Okay. First one. Okay, I'll let it play out a little bit. Okay, for the most part, we're good. Joy is pressing the center back. Grace is pretty close to the winger. Okay, great. Mia is picking up her player here. That's good. Delilah, you can even be potentially start making your way into here. Obviously, this was good position to start because it was a little narrow. You can start making your way towards the center back. Grace does a good job of putting some pressure and she wins the ball. Awesome. Okay. Once again, just got to move the ball a little bit quicker. Let's look to find the weak side if we can. Okay. This is one I wanted to talk about because Zoe looks for the ball here into Alana. Let's look for this person in Maya. Okay. Maya is in a ton of space, and now we can work to the weak side. And if we find Maya in this position, now we can go into Delilah all the way out here. Okay. Let's look for the person in space. Obviously, this is harder when it's obviously happening at real time, but this is something that we have to look for. Okay. We always want to work from outside to inside, back to the other side. Okay. So looking to go from strong side to weak side. So find Maya when we can. Okay. We go back into here. It ended up working out and we ended up passing the ball through. Great. Fine. Grace, I would say to look into a run in behind here. Guys, when it's compact in this area, okay, playing into feet here is going to be very difficult. So, guys, put it into the space. So, Grace, make the run into here. Now, Mia can find you in there, and now we're running on. Okay. Feet here is going to be very difficult. And end of the day, guys, when we're trying to break the back line, we don't want too many defeat, especially in spaces like this. Let's look in behind. Okay, they play out a little bit. Would love to see a little bit more recovery from Mia and Alana here. Okay. Once we lose it, we have to be thinking about defense. Okay. For the most part in this game, I thought you guys played pretty good defense. But at the end of the day, we still have to be very, very aware because all it takes is one mistake, and now we've given up a goal. Okay, so making sure we're on all the time. Okay, for the most part, our cover is good here. Stella's got the outside back. Delilah does a good job here of doubling down. So Winger wins the ball. Stella's pressuring. Delilah was helping pressuring. So she's going. Now it gets played back. Delilah steps up. Great. That's great positioning there from Delilah. That's great defending. Okay, good. And we win it. Awesome. We try to go forwards right away. I do like that we try to go to forwards right away, guys, here. Once again, it's about our quality now. We put it in the air for Joy and it's behind her. So now it's very difficult. And now it becomes a little bit of a bouncing game here. So now it's bouncing all over the place. Okay. Quality in our first pass solves the problem. Okay. And once again, we're in a good position where Zoe's done a good job of sealing out the player. And now she's got Abby to play. The biggest thing here is Zoe plays it a little soft. Guys, we have to be willing to punch in our passes a little bit. Okay. Not saying that we blast the ball into each other, but we have to put power in our passes. If we play it weak and it goes short, we're letting the pressers come and get it off us. And the biggest thing with that, guys, is you're leading your players into tackles, and that's where what we call a stitch up. Okay, so making sure we play a little bit more power in our passes. Obviously, Abby is able to handle this a little bit and deal with it in the end. Okay, but we want to make sure we punch in our passes a little bit harder just so it doesn't become a turnover. Okay, into the next one. Okay, obviously, just working our way up the field. Good. Abby's won it here. Okay, good. Kira's opened up into a space for her. Okay. Kira, keep asking for the ball. I think you did in this moment. So good job. Okay. So keep doing that. Abby finds you. Awesome. Now, this is a great position for us. This is awesome. We did some good recovery defense. We've won the ball, and now we're going forwards. And there's clearly an open person we can play. Okay. Once again, we talk about our quality of pass. Okay. While this is the correct pass to play, we played it in the air, and this is a more difficult ball to deal with. Once again, Alana should probably use her front foot, so her left foot in that situation, she doesn't get into an issue. But once again, the ball needs to be better into her. Okay. Once again, obviously we want to reward good ideas. So obviously we're not saying it's a bad I'm not saying it's a bad idea, but we do have to make sure those are quality passes into each other because once again, you do that, it's a bit of a stitch up for your teammate. Okay? She ends up getting tackled part on her own for not taking a good touch. Okay? Luckily, we ended up getting out of that anyways. Okay, we'll let it play on a little bit. Great. Alana breaks through. Great from Alana to dribble on her own. Awesome. Okay. She breaks through. Okay. When we get here, guys, and we're breaking towards the goal and she's driving towards the goal, we want to get wider so the people not on the ball. So Joy, Delilah, Grace, we want to get wider, not necessarily narrower. The reason why is it's hard to find a ball. So right here, where she's trying to find you guys, Okay. Especially Grace, because Grace is probably the easiest pass. Playing into your feet right now is pretty difficult because the person's right in the way. Playing in through this pass is difficult because you're at a weird angle. Grace, I would start myself a little bit wider. So now when I'm driving towards this goal. So driving towards this goal. Okay. And now that pass in between becomes a lot easier. So now Alana can't see it because it's a little bit too narrow. So she decides to go into Joy. Same thing with Joy here. Okay. Too close to the defender. The biggest thing for our attackers is we want you to get away from your defender. So how about we start in here? If we can start in here, now Alana can find you with a lot more space. Okay. And since there's no space, we try to play you a ball and it's intercepted. Okay. So we just have to make sure we're creating space. How can we get away from our defender so we can get the ball? Okay. Moving on to the next one. Right? Grace does a good job of trying to find the weak side, and she ends up finding someone. Mia, that's a great ball in behind the defenders. That's awesome. Okay. Even for Delilah there, though, I would start probably wider. Mia, that's a good ball in, though. Okay. Start wider, guys. When you start narrow, it's hard to find space. Okay. So start wider. Okay. In this moment, Mia, we can drop off maybe into this space, kind of like we talked about this week, using the U to help move the ball once we got into the offensive part. So if you get it there, maybe we can find Maya. Maya, you should probably be a little bit higher, and or maybe we find Alana, okay, depending on how it opens up for us. But we want to be able to rotate the ball so we can go the other way. Okay, and at the end of the day, Delilah ends up doing the rotation. Great. She finds Maya, or she tries to. Once again, we have to be a little bit cleaner with our touches, girls. Okay, we'll move on to the next one. We'll let it play out a little bit. It's coming up. Okay, I see this one a lot. Okay, we try to play the ball into somebody. Okay, but we look more into feet. Guys, we have to look into space. So once again, if I bring it back up, oh, missed it a little bit. So once we're here, we're looking for this ball. We need to find spaces here, guys. We're looking to play it right on this person's foot. That's a mistake, guys, because obviously this person's running. Okay. We want to look into here as much as we can. So look at either above or beyond. But if we try to play into feet here, like we tried here, now it's this person running backwards and this person attacking. Okay. So we want to find ways to go forwards through this. Okay. So finding ways to keep it going behind them. And if we go behind them, now they got to face backwards and we can press. Okay. So even if you miss a pass in behind, okay, we can still press that. So the biggest thing I would say to people is overhit, not underhit. So he does a good job of here defending. Good. She keeps a body on. Good. Zoe, don't leave that moment. Okay. Keep pressing there. We can keep going. Good. We win the ball. Mia does a good job of keeping the ball. Alana's on the run again. Okay, same thing. We're running towards the goal. We want to create space. So, Grace, if you can get out here, this is great. The reason why is now potentially this person either follows you, okay, and now we've created a big hole for Alana. And if she doesn't follow you, now you have a lot more space to receive the ball. Joy, this is a better position from you. Okay, you're in between the two defenders here. This is a little bit easier for you. Delilah's making her way, so good. Okay, obviously, once again, since it kind of closed down, we kind of wanted to find Grace here. So Grace, get a little bit wider. Okay, find ways to get wider so we can find you. Okay, on to the next. Good, Zoe wins it. Perfect. Zoe, I think you remember this one from the game. Obviously, defensively, guys. Okay, Zoe did actually a pretty good job of sealing out the player. End of the day, guys, we're okay with giving up a throw in every once in a while if we can't do anything with it. Biggest thing we don't want to do is clear towards the middle of the goal. I remember Zoe recalled this one from the game, so don't want to hit this one too hard. Obviously, um, she knew where the mistake was, and that's great because in the day Zoe was playing as an outside back when she's never been an outside back, so that's one thing she learned while she was there. So that's great. Um, just keep that as mind, guys. Okay, because she's not the only one who's done that before. Okay, but for the most part, she did a good job defending wise. If we want to clear, just put it out wide. Okay, we'll deal with the throw in. All right, we put it down and we play. Okay, now, great. We put it down. We're trying to play. Kira, biggest thing here, I can tell by your shape, you're trying to go here. Okay. Biggest thing is we want to go more forwards. We're going very sideways. And what that does to us is it makes it very hard for us to play because we get sucked into one side. If we start here, we can even go back into Sienna. The biggest thing is we want to find ways to pivot the ball. So go from one side to the other. Okay. If you get all yourself all the way into here, it makes it very hard to switch because this person, number 12 right here, I believe that's 12, is trying to guard Abby here. Okay. So now if you go all the way there, she can get tight. If you stay here, she can't get tight. And now we can play into Sienna, or that would be Gigi maybe sometimes. And now she's going to have to stay. Keep in mind, guys, this is the winger. So there is a whole free person over here. So if we can have it to the goalkeeper here, now she has to sit off a little bit. Maybe we find Abby. Now we can get all the way into this winger. So guys, don't get yourself stuck on one side. So we're going a little bit too wide. Okay, end of the day, Kira does a good job to get herself out of trouble here, but she doesn't get herself in trouble here if she doesn't go so far wide and trusts her goalkeeper. Okay, end of the day, she does a good job of getting out of that. Great. Kira does a good job of finding Mia in this moment. Awesome. Okay, Mia does a good turn to get out of pressure. Lovely. Okay, great. We got ourselves out of it. Okay, Kira, make your life a little bit easier, but otherwise, you handled the rest of the part well. Okay, once we get here, Grace, this is better positioning. Now you're a little bit wider. You're away from the defender. So now there's an actual lane to play to you. So this is great. This is a good position right here. You can even be a little bit more wide, but this is a decent position. So now when we try to find and play you, great, we can find you. Now for Mia, kind of like we said, overhit, not underhit. So if we can find this area, now Grace can run and maybe get a cross in. But from this position, it turns into an interception. So make sure we overhit it a little bit if we're going to miss. Okay. Obviously, we would love a perfect pass, but if we can't hit it perfect, overhit it a little bit. Okay. Into the next one. All right. Cena picks it up. We're creating our build again. Great. Once again, outside backs can get a little bit higher. Okay. We don't need to be this shallow. Okay. It's good. We have some builders here. Great. Okay. Love this from Kira. She stayed a little bit more central. Now we can deal with the press a little bit. Okay. Now, this ball is a little bit courageous right now. Okay. She's not necessarily in a great angle yet. I would have Alana keep dropping into this space. So Alana, you need to keep working to get into an open space. Right now, you're kind of open, not completely open. And what I would say from our center backs is we probably want one of you to start here, one of you to start here. And the reason why for that is, okay, or a little bit wider, is because now you separate their press a little bit. And so now you have a little bit more time and space. Okay. We do play the ball though. Luckily, we get away with it. We do lose that touch. Okay, Alana, try to keep it. Obviously, if it's a hard ball into you, just play the way you're facing. So touch it there. Okay, maybe we play back into Abby. Okay, if we try to turn with that, it's going to turn into a turnover. Okay, now we're dealing with it. All good. We have to deal with it. Okay, we messed up in the press. It is what it is. That's gonna happen sometimes. Okay, fine. End of the day, we figure it out. Okay. But this is one of those things to remember. Okay. We're going to mess up in the press sometimes. Once again, I'm not afraid we're giving up some chances sometimes because we're going to mess up. End of the day, we're 12-year-old. Some of us are 12-year-old girls. I know Joy just turned 12 literally like a few days ago. Okay. So we are sometimes going to make mistakes. It's going to happen. No worries. Okay. It's about how we react to them. Okay. And learn from them. Okay. So making sure we look at those moments and be like, okay, maybe I could have found a different option. But overall, I like that you guys have ideas. It's really good. Okay, Delilah does a good job of driving inside here. She tries to find the inside player. Great, she does. Once again, Grace, a little too narrow. So now this ball is hard to find. Now, Mia does find this ball. She finds this rib ball here. I think you make it easier for yourself if you're out here. Not necessarily saying that you get it to feet, but this through ball becomes a little bit easier. But she does find you. So this is great. When I get into this moment, Grace, I would go first time left foot. Trust yourself. End of the day, if you miss the whole goal, you miss the ball, or you hit it right at the goalkeeper. End of the day, we'd rather get a shot off than nothing. Okay. Let's take advantage of those moments because end of the day, guys, if you take a left-footed shot and you mishit it, but it ends up going in the goal, they all count the same. If a cross comes in and it hits off your back and it goes in, it all counts the same. It's a goal. So guys, trust in your left foot. Okay, part of your development and part of just trusting yourself. Okay, here we try to cut it when maybe we're not going to have enough time to cut. So I would go for the shot here, guys. Okay, but I do like the ball and I do like the run from Grace. Next one. That's a good ball from Delilah into Mia. Mia does a good job of laying it off. Danica does a good job of trying to find the weak side. Awesome. Now, okay, kind of like we saw there, Ava had to drop off to receive the ball because she was already running behind. Guys, understand your player. Obviously, if she can't, with the body position she has, she might not be able to play the ball long. So maybe we have to drop off into space. This is good though in terms of space, Mia's got a lot of space to go. So Danica did a good job of putting it into this space here. So awesome. Okay. Ava still has plenty of time to receive this and go forwards. Great. And she found the weak side where there's a lot more space. So Ava gets it. Awesome. She's able to go at the player. She decides to play 1-2 and Mia. Great. Once you get it here, Ava, go at the player. Even if you lose it, go at them. At this point, I wouldn't pass it. And the reason why I say that is because you're in front of the players. If I'm a smart player, I would get in front of them. Okay, try to draw a foul. So here you try to play it off. I would try to get in front of them and draw a foul. Okay, obviously, people call that a dive. Okay, at times, part of it is being a little bit of a competitor. Okay. Get yourself in front of the ball. And if they run you over, that's a foul on their own. Okay. Obviously, you manufactured it, but that's a foul. Okay. And that's part of being an offensive player is how do you draw fouls? How do you gain goals? Okay. And so obviously part of that is being having a little bit of gamesmanship about you. Okay. So I would keep that myself and either try to get my body in front of them and draw a foul or keep going myself and score. Okay. In that moment, it's going to be a really hard pass to find joy. So keep going. Be aggressive in those moments. Okay. Next one. Okay. Great. We're starting our press. Joy goes and presses. Okay. Good. Biggest thing is for our winger, we want to get inside here. I know that's a big adjustment now. So Ava, once it goes into this center back, so the left side center back, if you're the right, if you're the, or yeah, if you're the, sorry, their left center back. So our right side, okay, you need to be starting to get towards their right center back. Okay, we're pressing. Okay, we lost track of our marks, guys. Once again, Mia is not on a mark, and I'm not sure who this is. I believe it's Maya is not on a mark. Okay, Danica's on her mark. Okay, making sure we find our marks early, girls. Great, we win it. Or we lose it. Once again, don't be afraid to use your left foot. We use our right foot there. We're trying to use our outside of our foot. Okay, good. We're causing pressure everywhere. Okay. What I did like about this game is you guys did work hard to put pressure, which was great. Okay. Make your life easier than harder, guys. Okay. Find ways to help yourself out. Okay. Let's go into here. All right, first thing first. Okay, obviously it's a through ball, and so maybe we weren't able to get here all the way. But guys, look at where our next level is. Our next level is so far away from the play, guys. We have to be thinking right when that ball is played wide, or sorry, played wide and she's running. So Joy running. We have to be thinking, I got to get myself all the way up the field. Reason why is because if it pops out, I can go get a goal. Two, because if they receive the ball and they control the ball, I can counter press them. Okay. Right now, we can't put any pressure if they win the ball. Okay. We end up competing for it. Great. Okay. We end up getting it. But end of the day, we got to get closer earlier so we can help them. Okay. Urgency to get forwards. Okay, guys. We don't score goals by hanging off. Okay. Find ways to get forward. Couple more guys and then we're done. Couple more. Okay, great. Good decision to go back with the throw in. Okay, can we control it first time? Bring it down with our foot. Okay. Uh, sorry, Mia. I didn't mean to add this one in here and you got hit in the head. So sorry for this in the film. I meant to take this one out. Sorry. Mia's still got a brain, so it's all good. Okay, great. Abby's dropping off. The through ball being played. We had good cover balance. Once again, like I said, defensively, you guys did a great job in this game for the most part. Our defensively, we had good cover almost all the time, at least in the first half. So I was very happy with that. Obviously, in a real game with Gigi in goal, she might be a little bit higher. So now we could play through her and find Kira. Obviously, Sienna's a little back right now. It is what it is. Okay. She's an outfitter playing goal. Okay. For the most part, we want our goalkeeper somewhere in here so we can play and get into Kira here. Okay. We weren't able to do that. That's fine. Abby decides to turn and escape. Okay, she does a good job of finding Alana here. Good job, Abby. Okay, now, okay, go back a little bit. Okay, same thing as one we talked about right at the beginning. Boom, we find her. Who's wide open? It's Maya. Okay. Maya is the one that's wide open. Can we find ways to switch the field and go forward? So can we scan? Can we keep our head open to moving the ball even sideways so we can go extra forwards? Okay. So here we try to go forwards and the person presses us. But if we find Maya right away, she's got a huge lane. So now we're going and now we get pressed. But if we can find Maya, we have tons and tons of space to now go forwards and now maybe find Delilah. Okay. So, guys, keep your head on a swivel as much as you can. Okay. That will help you out. Okay. Last one, and then we're done, guys. Last one. All the way to 39. Okay. For the most part, we have a good shape. We've won the ball. Okay. Once again, same thing for me. Okay. Understanding when we play somebody. Okay. We have to read if that person's running. If she's running, we can't just play to her. Delilah, there's still so much space to break down this line. I would just open wide so you can receive the ball, right? Because we can't always just break them going forwards. Okay. So we might have to go wide first to receive. Okay. Now we lose the ball. It is what it is. We win it right back. And now Delilah gets it back. Great. Now we're going forwards. Once again, I would love to see us all getting forward. So me as our 10 right now, I'd love to see you get into this space so you can come and help us get forwards. Okay. So that's about it for me here, guys. Okay. I didn't want to make this too much of an overload for you guys. Just wanted to give you a couple ideas. Okay. Hopefully your parents watch this with you, and then you guys can give me feedback if you guys like this type of style of film, because this is something where I can clip up whatever game we do and just work it out for you guys and do this. Okay. This is not too much of an issue for me. Okay. So if this is very helpful, if this is helpful for you guys, please let me know. I'm totally fine with doing more of this. Okay. Otherwise, guys, thank you guys for watching this. Okay. Make sure you watch every moment. I know that sometimes it's not necessarily your position, it's not necessarily your role. Okay. But end of the day, we need to know all the roles of everybody's position. Okay. That will make us better teammates and how we instruct each other. And then also it's just good to know in general, just in case you have to play there. Okay. So make sure you watch it all the way through. If you have any questions, if you have any concerns, please let me know. If your parents have any questions or concerns, please let me know. Okay. And we'll figure that out. Okay. Otherwise, thank you guys. And I'll see you guys on Sunday.